Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of AWM Insights. Obviously, this one is a special holiday episode. We're going to keep it relatively brief, hopefully, but also give you enough fulfillment to complement your Thanksgiving meal around the investing side of things with a little taste of gratitude. You know, the last couple episodes actually set us up pretty well to chat about some stuff today. Around gratitude, around perspective, etc., that hopefully are meaningful talking points to you. You know, it wasn't all that long ago, literally, when we're recording this today, the day before Thanksgiving. It will probably get released afterwards, but what was it, 4 days ago, where markets were correcting pretty strongly. You know, it wasn't a formal correction in the sense of the word, but last week wasn't the best week, right? It was one of the worst weeks we've experienced so far this year. Still a great year. And fast forward to today and this week, markets have recovered pretty nicely, kind of like 2-ish plus percent, depending on what market you're talking about, since our last recording. And it's great perspective to have, right? You could have argued in a number of different ways that markets should keep declining because of the overexuberance in AI, what's going on in the economy, right? We just saw consumer confidence data recently that was not very strong. And so, you know, you can make this argument that markets should continue to decline. And maybe that happens from here, and I'm the straw that tips the camel's back, so to speak. So, but we just know that is incredibly difficult to do. And we want to, remind people that is why you don't try to time markets. It's good to ask questions. Hey, why are markets acting in this way or that? But you can't necessarily extrapolate a week or a couple weeks well into the future. You don't know when things are going to turn for the positive. You don't know when things are going to necessarily turn to the negative. But that activity, we mentioned this last week, but that activity kind of gives us this confidence that we're going to be able to meet your goals, your priorities. And that kind of is where we're going to pivot this conversation into the side of gratitude, right, Mena? So, like, you know, give us a sense of how we think about investing for priorities and tie that into the gratitude focus.
Yeah, and the gratitude focus, you know, last week we kind of talked about the sell-off, but you should be thankful for the sell-offs because that means that there is an outcome that's positive for you in the future, and that future positive outlook is going to help you meet your priorities. That 5% sell-off that we got is good. Now, it reduces your return. You see a little bit red for that week, for that given period of time, but have to kind of take a step back and reflect on the year. We're still up close to 15% in general, and that's something to be thankful for. And you're kind of 15% closer, if not, you have a 15% cushion now in terms of meeting your priorities and accomplishing everything that you actually want to accomplish down the line. So there is always bad that comes with good. You're never going to just have a perfect investment experience. If you do, that is, well, I should say you're not going to. And if you do, you're probably invested in a Ponzi scheme or some sort of Madoff fund. And it's going to look very bad in the future. But yeah, this is just the reality of being an investor. And it gives me at least peace of mind knowing that the outcome at the end of the day, if you look at things from a big picture, is going to be positive and that markets are functioning properly.
Totally. And what you're talking about could be construed as hypothetical, this and that. And I just want to add to that. You're 100% right. I'm not saying that you're throwing out hypotheticals that we don't know about. But through our many years of experience, my many years of experience now, I'm the old one here. I can tell you all, our listeners, our clients, that this is how it works. This is how markets function, and it's so powerful to have a conversation with a client. We got a report recently where a client was finally able to buy a ranch, start to build their dream home, you know, hundreds of acres of land, I believe it was, and just reflect on the power and have gratitude around that. They would not have been able to do that without the volatility, without the expected return and bumps along the way. And so that is where the power of priority, the power of reframing what's important when it comes to investing to meeting your priorities and building portfolios that do that in the highest probability fashion, it really comes into play. And the ability for some of you who are just getting started investing, maybe you're thinking about daily movements a little bit more, or just absolute dollar amounts. And yeah, those things do matter. And hopefully these podcasts help reframe how to think about those and tune out that noise, because it is noise, it is volatility along the way, to understand, hey, no, we're doing this in the most robust way, using this whole decision process that we've covered over the last 5 or 6 episodes prior to the last couple. And it gives you this confidence that there's a higher purpose really of investing, and that is to meet those priorities, and then gives you that point to have fulfillment, to have that period of gratitude, reflecting and refocusing on what you've been able to accomplish with our support.
And it's so important to acknowledge one thing that you said, like, we are emotional beings. There are going to be challenging times. It's not always going to be positive and up and to the right, but taking a step back, understanding that, and also understanding that these roadblocks, these bumps in the road are natural, are part of the experience, really helps. It gives me at least peace of mind knowing that I am going through exactly what I should go through, and kind of taking that emotionalness side. I am a very emotional person. I'll just admit this right now, but spinning it in a positive way, that helps me at least make solid decisions and have a solid decision-making framework that kind of tunes out the negative emotional piece and really focuses on the positive effects and impacts of what I'm doing long-term, at least with my own portfolio.
That's 100% correct, right? This is a great conversation, kind of summary of this idea of being human-centered, bringing that human purpose to investing, to your money, to your wealth. And hopefully these points really drive that home. We're going to wrap here. Like I said, keep it a little bit shorter. I do want to just extend a little bit of personal gratitude to everyone listening to the podcast. We love any and all feedback here. But most importantly, to any of our clients listening, we obviously wouldn't be here without you all. We are truly grateful to partner with you and really help steward your wealth to meet your priorities through this journey of life. It's incredibly rewarding work for all of us here at AWM, and so we can't thank you enough. And with that, we hope truly that you have a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday, spending time with your friends and family. And until next time, own your wealth, make an impact, and always be a pro.